All right, well, this is another beautiful, beautiful Sunday evening out here. I'm in Colebrook, Pennsylvania today. This is in Lebanon County, and this is Route 241 right here, and just up there is the little town of Colebrook. And we're gonna look for the Colebrook furnace. I'm not sure from an exact right area, but even if we don't find where the furnace is, there's still a cool little haunted story about this place, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. So, and I've never been here before, so it's not too far from home. We're gonna check it out. And there's a cool old mill up here. We'll talk about that too in a little bit. So I'm out here later than I usually am in these haunted videos. I was told when I do these haunted videos, I need to come out during the, what they call it, the witching hour, which is like at 3 in the morning, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna come out here at 3 in the morning. I guess it might be kind of cool, but I think I'll pass on that. All right, here's the cool, this is an old mill. This is built in 1793, and it's in sad condition. It's kind of a shame. It's owned by the Game Commission currently. I know the roof has got damage to it, and there's plants growing out of it on this corner up here. Some plants growing out of it. And I'm going to ramble for a moment about the Game Commission. I know in some of my other videos I've kind of gone off on them a little bit, and this is why. They own this and they're just kind of letting it rot. It's built in 1793. Someone offered to buy it from them, or even to trade land for them, and they turned it down. I don't know if that's changed or not, but there are people that be willing to fix this up and preserve it, but the Game Commission won't go for it. So the building is just deteriorating. It's eventually gonna rot away, fall down. So that's why I don't really like the Game Commission. They're not into preserving history, and they should. Anyway, I'll quit the ramble. Back to the ghost story. Yeah, they have a caution sign here, so I investigated, and there's actually a foundation. I don't know if it crumbled here, or if there used to be but you could actually go down into the basement down there. So I'm not doing that today. I didn't bring my flashlight or anything, so I'm not gonna. It's pretty dark down there, so maybe some other time. Well, I'm gonna walk around here a little bit, see if I can find any remains of the furnace. I'm not expecting to, really. I did look in maps, getting bit here. Looking at maps, there might be something over there, but back in the day, there was a guy named Jacobs that was I guess what they called the Iron Master here, that worked here, and apparently he was not a very nice person. A drunk, a braggart, greedy, cruel person, and he had a group of dogs, hunting dogs that were his pride and joy, I guess. Well, I guess he didn't really have any joy. He was mostly an unhappy guy, and fox hunting was popular back then, and he was bragging about how good his dogs were at hunting foxes, and so he made this big brag about something to somebody, and he was going to show them how good his dogs were, and they didn't get a fox on that hunt, and so he was pretty angry, and according to legend, he did some pretty awful things to his dogs. And so he was pretty angry with his dogs, and as legend says, and because they didn't catch a fox that day, he drove them all up the road to where the furnace was, and with a whip forced them all to jump into the open blazing mouth of the furnace and killing them. But his most faithful dog, Flora, that was her name, Flora, who had apparently saved his life on at least one occasion, she wouldn't jump in. She just kind of clung to his side and was like licking his hand and whatnot. So what does a cruel, evil person do? He picked her up and threw her into the furnace and killed her. Nice guy. But speaking of furnace, I did find something over here. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with the furnace. There's some ruins over here. Something neat here. There's like an old road here. I saw that on the maps, like the Google Maps. So this looks interesting. I'm gonna walk around here a little bit more. But the problem for Jacobs was, after he'd done that, he started having nightmares. He would wake up in the middle of the night, stark, afraid, he was having dreams. He kept saying he could see the hounds coming out of the fiery furnace and chasing him down. They were coming for him, and he could hear them, baying, or how dogs bark, they call it baying sometimes. You could hear they were coming for him. The hounds were coming for him. Apparently they found him one night sitting straight up in bed, his eyes wide open, in fear, and he was dead. He had died of fear from the hounds coming after him. So that's how he died then. And of course, with all ghost stories, then they say that if you come out here, especially on a stormy night, you can still hear the baying of the hounds out here. It is kind of getting a little dark out here, but I don't hear nothing. I don't imagine I will. It's a cool little story, though. Well, except for throwing the dogs in the furnace. So yeah, they say if you come out here, stormy night, you can still hear the hounds. But it's neither night nor is it stormy right now, so I'm not going to hear anything. And if I did, my truck is right over there. I can run right back to it. So, kind of neat back here a little bit. Well, I'm back to this spot. This is the only thing around here. It looks like it could have been the remains of some kind of a furnace. I'll have to come back here when all this vegetation dies back and look around some more. Still too thick right now to really see much. And there's just one last view of this cool old mill. Makes a great setting for a haunted story. I know I didn't really find much of the actual furnace ruins, and I wasn't expecting to. Sometimes those old furnace ruins, there's just really nothing left of them. Sometimes they take the block and use it to make other buildings and stuff. So, but I am coming back to this place someday to go exploring down that little hole I found down there. But that'll be another day. I'm not really prepared for that today, so. And it's not too far from where I live, so I'll come back here someday. We'll go exploring, see what we find in there. All right, so thanks for joining me on this little haunted episode. This is the Hounds of Colebrook. Like I said, this is along 241 in like southwestern Lebanon County. All right, see you somewhere else.